Galamera, Galamera, Galamera. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And as you can see today, it's a lovely day. Well, ish. I've just noticed as soon as I've walked around the side of the house, the hills are a little bit obscured by some very, very low cloud. Just directly over the back, looking down towards Amber and also Kerry. There's cloud over there, so I think it might just burn off looking at it. Got to say a quick hello to Wiggy Winstanley this morning over there in Cyprus. He phoned me just before coming on air. He said the weather over there at the moment, 21 degrees Celsius, and again, clear blue skies with just a hint of cloud. I'm not sure what it's like up in the mountains there, if they've had snow this year or not, because don't forget, in Cyprus you can go skiing in the winter, but he didn't say. There we go, the noisy chickens are out and about. That's one of Laurel and Hardy. Wiggy asked about where the cock is. Is he going to be out making noise? It wouldn't surprise me. Over the back of the house then, looking towards Kalamaki and also Laguna. Absolutely glorious. Sun is out bright. It really does feel lovely in the sun. I don't know what the temperature is, but yeah, it's a glorious morning at the moment. And I've got some interesting news for today as well. Hey up there, lovely. She's making a right old noise at the moment, isn't she? Hey, bless her. All the cats are fed. Jane's still in bed. Bless her. So let's crack on. I've also got to say a quick hello to the lovely Leah Barnes as well. Thank you for the parcel yesterday. We had a lot of fun unboxing a parcel which was sent in November. It arrived yesterday. That's how far behind the postage is at the moment. And thank you for all the little presents in there for my birthday and also the stuff for Christmas. I thought your Christmas crackers you made were absolutely awesome. And we're going to keep those for next year, for this year, for Christmas this year. And we will take them out no matter where we end up in the world. We'll have those for Christmas Day. So we're going to store those. But again, thank you to Lily and Theo and James as well. And please, James got the job as well, because I know he was doing a bit of an interview at one time when we called. So we had to keep it down a bit. But anyway, lovely to talk to you. And also, can I just say hello to Nafleon over in Greece? Can I just say a quick hello to Lorraine Margaret Cattle? She's the moderator and the founder of the Greece's Daily Bulletin. Lovely chat with you yesterday. Really, really enjoyed it. And again, if we ever get a chance to get over to the Peloponnese, we've got people that we want to go and see over in the Peloponnese. We will try and look you up, all right? So once again, thank you. And thank you for the support of the blog I do in the mornings as well. It's greatly appreciated. Right, let's have a quick look then at the news then. As always, the COVID stats for the last 24 hours, which actually are not looking too bad, actually, as the way things are going. We had 510 new infections recorded across the country, which was down from the day before, where we had 816. That now brings the grand total up to 142,777 cases of the virus or confirmations since the pandemic started. Anyway, 16 of those new infections yesterday were from entries into the country, and that was down as well because the day before it had been 24. Not that people are travelling about as much. Now, we have had one new case here on Zakynthos. A 40-year-old woman from Zakynthos was tested positive for coronavirus. She took a test at the Zakynthos hospital because she had presented mild symptoms of fever and malaise. I know the feeling of malaise. And after she'd been examined and tested, she was then allowed to go home and go into self-quarantine. Now, that brings... at the moment on the island for 2021, this brings it up to 4 cases of people testing positive on the island since the beginning of the new year. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to keep a running tally now, because I wasn't doing that before, of just how many cases we've had on the island, and I'm starting it now from the 1st of January. So now we've had 4 cases since the 1st of January of people testing positive for the virus, and these people look like they've had the symptoms and they obviously not severe symptoms, like nobody's been hospitalised as yet, all right? but we will bring you any news on that nature as and when we get it. As for deaths, we've had 47 new deaths. That is also down from yesterday. We had 48 new deaths across the country, bringing the total amount of deaths to 5,146. The average age of those people passing away was 79, and 95% of those people had underlying health issues or over the age of 70. Anyway, 3,041 men have passed away and 2,105 women have passed away, and our condolences to families that have suffered a loss of members in the last 24 hours. Anyway, as for critical cases, they're also down as well. At the moment, across the country, we've got 391 people in ICUs. Yesterday, we had 399 people, so 8 people have been discharged. 266 males are intensive care, 125 females are intensive care, and the average age of those people is 68 years of age, and 85.2% of those have underlying health issues or are over the age of 70. Anyway, as you're probably aware, the English and Scottish governments have announced that from next week, anyone, including UK nationals, arriving in either country will be required to present a negative COVID test taken at least 72 hours before arrival. That's if you can get out of Greece. The rule includes all entry points by air, sea or rail. Wales and Northern Ireland are expected to follow suit. However, there are some exemptions. If you're a lorry driver, a haulier, you are exempted. Children under the age of 11 are exempted from travelling, and Ireland, hauliers and children under the age of 11 travelling from Ireland, the Irish Republic, they will be exempt. Okay, and anybody who's caught breaking those rules, the British government and the Scottish governments have said we will fine you £500. So just let you know about that. However, what they haven't said is the date that they're actually going to start enforcing this rule. So again, we'll keep a close eye on that, because as you know, travel here in Greece is also restricted at the moment, and I'll be coming on to that in just a while. Anyway, meanwhile, on Zakynthos then, the Zakynthos MP, Dionis Aktis, and also the Deputy Regional Governor for Zakynthos, George Stanipoulos, they visited one of the two vaccination centres yesterday on the inauguration of them, along with the head of the Zakynthos Civil Defence Protection, who is Maria Mazaki. Anyway, the vaccination of the medical staff at the General Hospital has been announced, and that is expected to start on Tuesday, January the 12th at the hospital. And the two vaccination centres in the city of Zakynthos, in the town itself, and also in Katastari, will deal with the public. Those dates have not been announced. However, the Zakynthos MP announced that the vaccinations for the general public will start on January the 20th. He stressed that until then, we want people to believe that we will have vaccinated both medical staff and private doctors from January the 20th. Vaccination of the general population will start. Now, that is depending on whether the vaccination the vaccine arrives here on the island. The second category for vaccination will be the 60 and above age group. However, they're going to start with people from 85 years of age. They're going to be the first people of that group to receive the vaccine. And he also said at the moment, he reckons that there's about 100,000 people in Greece who are in that age bracket, which again was kind of interesting. I thought it actually would have been higher actually, but anyway, that's what he says. On the 20th of the month, we estimate that we will have started the vaccinations by then, and all health professionals will be vaccinated. And once again, health professionals are not being obliged to have the vaccination, but I think the authorities above would like to see them have it. Anyway, Mr. Apitis wished good luck and good strength to all the staff of the vaccination centres and stressed he wants a lot of attention to make the whole process run smoothly. He said because it is a difficult task that we are starting to do in terms of the process that we have to follow for the vaccinations and which must be completely formalised. We must also be careful as well. He also said there is no problem with the issue of side effects. A very large number of people worldwide have been vaccinated at the moment, and it does not seem that the vaccine is causing major problems. Okay. The MP of Zakynthos also pointed out that there are 152,000 doses at the moment in warehouses of the Greek Health, while he pointed out that 25,000 people had been vaccinated in Greece already. He also responded to the leader of the official opposition, Alex Tsipras, clarifying that everything is going well with the vaccinations, and added, "We have achieved the average vaccines that all European countries have and need special attention because this vaccine is peculiar in the terms of freezing and we'll have to be careful how we distribute it." He also said the Greek army has taken over the distribution of the vaccine. Special care must be taken not to miss doses, and on the other hand, the vaccine must be safe to be given to humans. He also said there are no amateurs here. We have to show full responsibility for what we start because a mistake was made. The whole system was blown up. I'm not sure what mistake he's going on about there, to be honest. Anyway, Maria Musaki, the head of the civil protection for Zakynthos, called for people to get vaccinated and noted that her service was constantly on the foot and will intervene where it is needed at all times. She said, "We are cooperating with the police, the Coast Guard and other agencies and services." So there you go. On Tuesday the 12th, that's when the health professionals are basically getting vaccinated. Don't forget, there's only going to be 2 locations here on the island where the vaccine will be administered. One will be in Katastari at the medical centre there, and the other is in town at the old ICA building. And again, we'll keep an eye on that because, to be honest, I think you're going to need more than 2 vaccination centres. I think that there needs to be at least 3, maybe 4, because when you think of the amount of people, even on this little island, we still have a population of 38,000 to actually get vaccinated. Anyway, the European Commission has also approved Germany's second state support package for the tour operator TUI, which amounts to 1.25 billion euros. Now, according to the Commission, the package is enough to remove the serious obstacle to member states' economies. In addition to state aid, the packages also include private funds. Now, the first package received by TUI in 2020, amounting to 1.8 billion euros, was supported by a bank consortium and secured by a state-owned bank, which is KfW. Now, the third package is expected, as in December 2020, TUI reached an agreement with the consortium of banks and private equity firms and KfW and the federal government and financial stabilisation fund. It's going to be interesting because hoteliers here on the island are watching this very closely because at the moment they still haven't been paid by TUI, a lot of them, and obviously TUI said they won't pay these people until the beginning of the next season, probably around about March time. So anyway, we're also keeping an eye on that. Also as well, restructuring of TUI is also of an interest to people here on the island, wondering what the staffing policies will be and whether they will have the same amount of reps that they've employed before locally here on the island as they have in previous years, because it seems that a lot of companies now are getting rid of reps within resorts because they're probably one of the most expensive parts of their operation. I know Jane was a victim of that last year, and other people that we spoke to were also victims of that. So again, it's something that we'll keep an eye on and see what happens throughout the season. Now, just going back to the airports, there was a directive issued yesterday that only domestic flights between all airports in Greece has been extended until Monday, with the aim of protecting passengers and the public from COVID. According to the relevant announcements, the Greek Civil Aviation Authority said on Thursday last night the extension will last until 6 a.m. on Monday. Only essential domestic travel is allowed, and this includes flights for health issues, for business purposes, and for those returning to their permanent address. So once again, we'll see how the internal flight situation fans out across Greece. Now, I saw a very interesting comment piece by a journalist called Costa Irandadis in the Ephemery newspaper yesterday, and it kind of struck a chord, and I thought I should kind of read you a potted version of his piece. Now, this is his wordings and not my wordings, and I don't know what your thoughts will be on this, but I found this very interesting, all right? This is what he had to say. He said, after a dramatic period of 4 years and 6 months and a trade deal with the European Union, Britain has won back its independence, a fundamental right for every sovereign state, which is now viewed as an anachronism since nationalism and patriotism are being treated as evil. Now, the champions of Brexit will hail the process as a redemptive escape from the shackles of the EU. Europeans, on the other hand, have treated Britain withdrawing from the bloc with hostility, mostly because they fear it could turn out to be a success. The certain thing is that something has finally happened that could shake the unhealthy complacency of the European system. The British acted according to their nature, which is largely incomprehensible and to be loathed by the leaders of the continent. The critics of the United Kingdom will say the British suffer from the syndrome of splendid isolation, and others will sarcastically say that the British hope to revive their imperialist past, or their imperial past. The truth is that Britain never really isolated itself from Europe, but it never tried to conquer any European nations either. Any military engagement was aimed at preventing the rise of a major hegemonic power on the continent, and we know who they're talking about there. Britain is indeed no longer that great country that never saw the sun set on its imperial conquests, but the adventurous spirit is still there, and so is the combative disposition. The country was suffering within the European framework. Leaving the EU, of course, implies risk, and the success of the venture will decide whether the UK will remain a united state. What cannot be questioned is the catatonic mood will be succeeded by a more extrovert attitude. This is exactly what the EU lacks today. Today's EU leaders seem eager to dismantle the foundations of the national state in an attempt to join the current globalization. It is interesting that a country is choosing to take the same path by relying on its long-standing traditions. Let us not be misunderstood here. Britain is not an example to be imitated. Writing to Tsar Alexander, Clements von Metternich said that seeking to adopt British traditions and institutions would only bring maladies and peril, and this remained true to this day. Well, I thought that actually what he said was very interesting. This is a Greek saying that he's wishing Britain all the best for escaping from the clutches of the European Union, but on the other hand saying us leaving the EU might be something that might make the EU actually act better and in the interests of its members. And so that, I felt that was a nice observation from a Greek journalist writing about Brexit, and a very sobering thought as well. I do know a lot of Greeks, when we first left the EU and the vote had been done, they would have said, do you know what, if Greece hadn't taken so much money, we would like to have been able to be more independent than what we are, because we've basically been sold out by the EU and with the bailout terms and everything else, they could not leave, if you see what I mean, because it would not set a good example to all the other nations that are maybe dithering either about joining or either about leaving. So anyway, interesting comments. If you've got any comments on that, I'll be quite interested to see what you say at the bottom. Right, so let's have a quick look, see who's tuning in at the moment. I can see quite a few people in this morning. Susie Angus is watching, lovely to have you with us. Elaine Finnegan is also looking in as well. I'm not sure where you're from, Elaine, but nice for tuning in, nice to have you with us. Julie Allen is also tuning in, nice to see you here again, Julie. Dave Finch, my cousin, he's also tuning in. Andy Johnson is also tuning in, Raffridge buddy, nice to see you here. Dave Cramp is also tuning in. He says, Galimera, Colin, I'm just going to say, wishing you a cracking day, matey. Thank you very much. Christine Plant is also watching as well. Nice to see you here. Also looking in is Christine Plant. She says, from a bitterly cold morning. It's a bit blustery here, but at least it's not cold, I've got to be honest. Graham Bint in Australia is also tuned in. Lovely to see you here, fella. Alan Woodhouse is also tuning in as well. Sarah Lester is watching as well. Sue Dickinson is also tuning in. Michael Wood is tuning in as well. Nice to see you here, Mike. Jackie Baker is also tuning in as well. Nice to see you. Ashley Duncan is watching as well. Shane Bowen says, Galimera Ginge, and I say the same back to you, sir. Thank you very much. Teresa Makel is also tuning in. Maria Hallberg from Sweden is tuning in as well. Alan Parks from Catterick, where it always the sun shines, is also tuning as well. Nice to see you here, Al. And also, I have to say, Maria from Sweden says, Galimera from a cold winter white Sweden. Have a lovely weekend. Thank you, my lovely. I love a bit of snow, and I've got to be honest, I do miss a bit of snow as well. All right, Julie Osborne is also watching as well. Lyndon is also watching. Lyndon, the pictures of you, mate, running in the London Marathon, I was mightily impressed. I never thought you did anything like that. Absolutely fantastic. That's probably why you kept your trim figure all your life. Anyway, well done, fella. Lovely to see that. Jane Mulhern, lovely to see you here, Jane. I hope you had a happy Christmas and you had a good New Year. Jane runs a bar down in Kalamaki, which is Alexander Bar. I'm so pleased to see you tuning in. You had a really horrendous 2021. I'm not going to go into it, but anyway, I'm so glad to see you looking in and just checking up. Anyway, nice to see you, and hopefully we'll catch up when the craziness here stops. Also, Amanda Gregory from up the road is tuning in as well. Lovely to have you here as well. Shane Bowen again is watching. Amanda Gregory says, hi. I love those emojis. Mike Baxter is watching. Bob Cave over there in Oxford is watching. Also, Dave Coldwell from the United States is watching as well. Lovely to have you tuning in. Bob Cave says, good morning, Ginge. -3 here in Oxfordshire. Ooh, that's too cold for me. Steve Hodgson is also watching from up there in County Durham. He says, Steve, he says, hi, Ginge, keep up the good work. Right, I've got to say, I must say, the show that I did on Wednesday, that has charted, show number 2, my Request and Inspiration show for 2021, number 2. That has charted in the charts, and yesterday it went in at 40 in the pop chart, number 10 in the reggae chart, which is really cool, and 27 in the soul chart, and number 73 in the rock chart. All right, and I'd like to think the reason it got to 73 in the rock chart is because in the show yesterday I showed Degsy with his band The Oasis Experience playing at Man City in 2015 for Man City's birthday, and it looks absolutely awesome when you see the video. It's brilliant. So once again, the show second show is still online in the Dropbox. You can download it, watch the video, see the music, or hear the music, watch the videos. And on Mixcloud, it's there all the time, but only as audio. And I'll be broadcasting this afternoon. Thank you for those people who've been putting requests in for me on yesterday's show. And that I've been pulling those together. Some great tracks in there as well. Put any more requests, dedications or mentions down below. I'm still looking for a jukebox memory and a golden vault. Now, jukebox memory, tell me about a jukebox somewhere, about a track on a jukebox that you heard, that you loved, Let me know where that jukebox was. Was it in a cafe? Was it in a bar? Was it in a friend's house maybe? You've got some people who collect jukeboxes. Let me know where you've heard whatever song it is off that jukebox. And obviously I'll put that in the jukebox memory bit. And also the Golden Vault, if you're celebrating something, a birthday, passing your driving test, a wedding anniversary, I will play you the #1 record from the year of whatever that event was. So again, pop that down in the comments below. I'd love to have a few of those. If I don't get to play your one this show, I might play it next show, but it's nice to have a stack of them to be able to play. Anyway, a quick shout out to Vicky Wood, who's tuning in as well. Also Tommy Winston Burns, nice tuning in. John Lynch as well, Raf Reg as well. Nice having you tuning in as well. Right, that's it from me for today. I will see you tomorrow. You have a safe day wherever you are, and I'll catch you later this afternoon, 3 o'clock UK time, 5 o'clock Greek time. You come and join me live online. A message should go up on Facebook that I've started broadcasting, and then come and join me. Jump into the Mixcloud chat room or jump into the Twitch chat room, and then obviously watch and listen and join in the show. All right? Anyway, I'll catch you later. And also a big shout out to Jack Harmer, who's also tuning in as well. I've got to go. I'll catch you later. Ta-ra.